Donnie and Teresa, the Beattyville hillbillies, are everyone's favorite Moonshiners duo in the hollows of Lee County, Kentucky, where the mist clings to the pine trees and the roads twist like serpents through the hills, live Donnie and Teresa, better known to fans across the country as the Beattyville hillbillies. They're not your average reality TV duo. No, sir. These two are living proof that love, mischief, and high-proof liquor are alive and well in the Appalachian backwoods. It all started with a rumble, quite literally, when Donnie's old Ford flatbed roared through downtown Beattyville with a suspicious clatter in the back. Folks in town knew what that sound meant. Another run of homemade shine, probably double copper distilled and aged in a pickle barrel that Donnie claimed once belonged to his great-uncle, a revenuers evading genius. Teresa, 5'0" but full of fire, rode shotgun, wearing her signature bandana, camo jacket, and mirrored sunglasses, rain or shine, day or night. She wasn't just along for the ride. Teresa was the brains of the operation, and Donnie? Well, Donnie was the brawn, the charm, and the local moonshine philosopher. Shinin' ain't just a job, he liked to say. It's a way of life. Like breathin', only more profitable. Their fame exploded after a chance encounter with a Moonshiners producer in Hazard, Kentucky. Legend has it, the producer had come looking for another outlaw distiller when his rental car got a flat. Donnie pulled over, helped change the tire, and offered a suite of his Persimmon Creek Peach Lightning. One sip, and the producer knew he'd struck Appalachian gold. A dynamic duo of the Holla Donnie and Teresa didn't just bring moonshine to TV. They brought heart, humor, and a whole lot of mountain wisdom. Their still, affectionately named Bubba Jr., is nestled deep in a hollow surrounded by rhododendron thickets and guarded by their hound dog, Diesel, who's more bark than bite and spends most of his time napping next to the mash barrels. Every batch is a labor of love. Teresa handles the mash recipe, a closely guarded secret passed down from her granny, who once ran shine out of a chicken coop during the 40s. Her secret ingredient? A dash of sass and a splash of sassafras, she always says with a wink. Donnie, on the other hand, tends to the fire and keeps the copper coil humming like a fiddle at a bluegrass jamboree. His attention to temperature and timing is rivaled only by his ability to spin a tall tale while keeping a steady hand on the condenser. You've ever hear the one about the time a bear stole my whole run of apple pie shine? He'll ask mid-distillation, eyes gleaming. Darn thing was the most polite thief I ever met. Even left me a thank you note. Signed it with a paw print. More than just Moonshiners, but Donnie and Teresa's charm isn't limited to their backwoods distillery. What really made them fan favorites is the undeniable love they show each other. In an industry known for backstabbing, law dodging, and late-night rivalries, these two stand out as a couple who truly have each other's backs. When one episode showed Teresa confronting a rival shiner who tried to sabotage their still by dumping sugar in their mash, fans were glued to their screens. "You mess with Donnie," she growled. "You mess with the mountain." Donnie stood behind her, grinning like he'd just caught the biggest catfish in the river. "I married up," he told the camera crew, "and I thank the Lord every day she didn't run off with my cousin Bobby instead." Their love spills over into everything they do. They celebrate each successful run with a hillbilly date night, which usually means sitting on the porch swing with jars of strawberry shine and listening to the Grand Ole Opry on an old radio held together with duct tape and hope. They even host an annual Shine and Dine barbecue for locals, featuring Teresa's famous smoked possum stew. It tastes better than it sounds, and Donnie's pickled cornshine. The event draws people from all over eastern Kentucky, and even the occasional curious hipster from Lexington, eager to sample authentic Appalachian craft spirits. Battling the law and the weather, of course, being moonshiners isn't all front porch sippin' and sweet corn smiles. They've had their run-ins with the law, though never quite caught. Donnie's evasion techniques include an old trick involving a hidden switchback trail, a decoy still made from a water heater, and, on one occasion, a wig and a pair of Teresa's leggings. Revenuers ain't what they used to be. Donnie chuckled in one episode, but I still like to keep him guessing. But it's not just law enforcement they battle, it's nature too. From flash floods that nearly washed away their still, to wild turkeys invading their storage shed, and drinking half a batch of blackberry shine in the process. Donnie and Teresa have weathered every storm the hills can throw at them. I swear, if we ever wrote a book, in the storm, we call a love story. Teresa once joked on camera. Donnie added, subtitle, and other ways to survive a drunk turkey. The rise of hillbilly hospitalitas, their fame grew, so did their fan base. People started sending letters, fan art, and even requests for shine sipes. Teresa now sells moonshine-scented candles and hand-stitched hillbilly life aprons on their website. Donnie offers signed mason jars, empty, of course, for legal reasons, with sayings like, shine on, keep it corny, and I run with Donnie. They've become unofficial ambassadors of Appalachian culture, blending tradition with humor and heart. Their online series, Still Life with Donnie and Teresa, showcases their daily lives, gardening, fishing, making moonshine, and dispensing unsolicited marriage advice. Best way to keep your marriage strong. Donnie offers in one video. Make sure your mash is hot, your jars are clean, and your partner always gets the first sip. Legacy in the Makinas, the seasons go by. Donnie and Teresa continue to shine, both literally and metaphorically. Younger shiners now look up to them not just as seasoned pros, but as examples of how to survive and thrive in an industry that walks the line between outlaw and artisan. They've hinted at building a shine school, where they'll teach the next generation of Appalachian distillers the old ways: corn mash, copper coils, and good old common sense. And while they might never go legal, Donnie calls it selling your soul for a barcode. They're more than happy to mentor the curious and the committed. When asked in an interview what they hope people remember about them, Teresa answered first, that we did it our way. Honest, humble, and with a whole lot of love. Donnie added, and that our peach shine could knock the boots off a mountain goat. Final sip into world-chasing modern trends and instant fame, Donnie and Teresa remind us that some things, like love, tradition, and a well-made jar of shine, never go out of style. They're more than moonshiners. They're storytellers, survivors, and symbols of Appalachian grit. So next time you hear a fiddle tune on the breeze or catch a whiff of fermented corn on a summer wind, raise your jar to Donnie and Teresa, the Beattyville hillbillies who stole America's hearts one sip at a time. Nestled deep in the crooked hills of eastern Kentucky, in a sleepy corner of Lee County where cell service disappears and the air smells like wildflowers and wood smoke, lives the most beloved duo in all of Appalachia, Donnie and Teresa, better known to millions of TV fans as the Beattyville Hillbillies. They ain't Hollywood pretty. They don't wear tailored suits or rehearse their lines. They ain't trying to sell flavored seltzers or build empires. No, sir. Donnie and Teresa are the real deal. Moonshiners through and through. Still cooking up illegal corn whiskey the same way Donnie's great-granddaddy did back during Prohibition, and America just can't get enough of them. The backwoods beginning their story, like all good ones, starts with a busted pickup truck, a batch of bad decisions, and a whole lot of heart. Donnie, now in his mid-50s, had been running Shine out to the hills since he was 16. Back then, he was known for being half crazy and twice as fast as the law. With a scraggly beard, a grin that could charm a copperhead, and a laugh like thunder rolling through the hills, Donnie was more myth than man in Beattyville. Teresa, she was the preacher's daughter. Quiet, sharp-eyed, and tough as a black locust root. Folks used to say she could shoot a squirrel out of a tree with a slingshot while quoting scripture. When she was 18, she marched right up to Donnie's still, slapped the jar of Shine out his hand, and told him he was living wrong. 2 weeks later, they were married in a homicide ceremony, with Donnie wearing his best camo hat and Teresa holding a bouquet of dandelions and shotgun shells. Their moonshine operation is as legendary as their love story. Hidden deep in a mountain hollow only they know how to get to, you take a left at the rock that looks like a bear's backside, then hike past the tree with 2 trunks. Their copper still, affectionately named Lucille, hums day and night during Shine season. Teresa runs the numbers, tracks the recipes, and keeps everything clean. Clean Shine is safe Shine, she always says, often while scrubbing barrels with vinegar and sassafras. Donnie's the fireman, the taster, and the storyteller. He keeps the temperature steady with a 6th sense developed over decades. He says you can't teach Shine making from a book. You gotta learn by smell, taste, and gut. The mash talks if you know how to listen, he tells the camera crew with a wink. Lucille's churned out everything from blackberry brandy to a now infamous apple pie Shine that allegedly made a state senator dance on a picnic table and sing Jolene at a wedding.